Time, an important aspect of our life, yet we know nothing about it, nor the paradoxes it brings along. So, what is time? Physicists define time as progression of events from the past to the present and into the future. Time can be considered the fourth dimension of reality. It's not something that we can see, touch, or taste, but we can measure its passage. Time is said to have a beginning from the point of the Big Bang. We can still measure the cosmic background radiation as microwaves from the Big Bang. If time was a dimension, then we would be able to move forward and backward. But it's not that simple. You see, when you mess with time, time tends to mess back. The grandfather paradox. Let's consider an hypothetical situation in which you manage to create a time machine. You use the time machine to travel back in time to meet your grandfather. But unfortunately, your arrival causes the death of your grandfather. Since your grandfather's dead, your father wouldn't have been born, and neither will you. Now, you wouldn't have the chance to go back to the past and change the timeline. But then again, you will be born to go back to the past and change the timeline. This creates a continuous reoccurring loop. But scientists have come up with some solutions to this paradox. This theory states that a time traveler can only do what has already done before. So don't worry, everything you did in the past has already happened. So it is impossible for you to kill your grandpa or create any sort of contradiction in any other way. This theory states that once you change something in the past, the universe split into two. One in which you were born, and another one in which you killed your grandfather and you were not born. This is yet another paradox that occurs due to time traveling. This paradox is famously explained by a story in which time travelers travel to the past and are kept in a levitating pathway to not interact with anything in the past. But accidentally, someone falls down and crushes a single butterfly. When they return to their present, all sort of things from spellings of words to outcome of elections are different and they have created an alternate reality. This is because of the slight change in the past that affected the future drastically. In simple words, the predestination paradox is a situation in which a single person traveling back in time with the intention of changing the outcome becomes the part of the past events. Suppose you are in a high school chemical laboratory and then by an accident the lab is caught on fire and you lose your best friend among the many others. So you decide to go back in time and change the past. So you start working on a time machine and let's say in a period of 2 years, you become successful in creating one. Now, you go back in time to save your best friend, but accidentally push down a chemical and it causes the entire lab to burn. Imagine what if you were to go back to the time to reshape any event only to find out you were the cause of that event. This resembles the question which came first, the chicken or the egg. The loops we saw earlier in the video violates the laws of physics such as the second law of thermodynamics which states that the entropy of an enclosed system is always changing. But for now, the time traveling still remains a science fiction.